River of Dreams, Billy Joel. That's Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Sorry I had to take a little day off. I've definitely got some stuff I might share. It's not specific someone related, just so everyone knows. Got some bad news from my mom. So I don't know. We're going to see. So working through all that. So I just needed a little time to kind of just decompress and figure out life in general. You know, good stuff. So hopefully everything's good and all you guys didn't mind missing a show from me. I don't think it's probably that big a deal in the big picture. So how do we gauge if we're heading in a good direction, right? How do we know that the thoughts we're having, the efforts we're making, the manifestation processes that we're trying to go through, how do we know it's actually heading in a good direction or heading us in a good direction or guiding us in the right path? Like, what are some things that we can use as markers to kind of figure some of this out? Now, some of you guys, I don't know if you read all the comments that people post, and there's a lot of them, so I don't expect that everyone does. I see them because, I get messages basically whenever comments are left on my videos, so I get to see it, and I see when people reply to other people's comments and all that stuff, so it's very cool. But in a lot of these comments, we get a couple different variants. It tends to be anyway. One side of it, we get a lot of people that basically have gotten to the point of frustration, gotten to the point of it was taking a while, and they just finally said, screw it, threw up their hands and let go, kind of open themselves up to whatever possibilities, never giving up on their specific person per se, but just kind of letting go, just like losing the need or the attachment to the result. I really think that's what letting go is. Whether that result happens or doesn't happen, however you get to that place where you're able to let go of the result, where essentially you get to a place where if it doesn't happen, I'm okay with that too. And the reason is you finally reach a place where you're just happy with you. That is a key moment. But again, how do you know you're on the right track? And for those of you that have maybe read some of these comments, these people that have finally let go and finally gotten to that place, the level of relief, the level of joy, the level of clarity, the level of content feeling that they have, it just overwhelms. It's kind of a peaceful, easy feeling, that would have been a good song, the Eagles. So it's that kind of thing that kind of gives you a good indication that you're on the right track. Now, am I saying that you need to let go to get to that? No, there's other ways. That's just a great example of people that have kind of reached that place. The other side of that is kind of people that are maybe frustrated in the environment. Person's not texting back quick enough. It's not happening fast enough. Maybe this person's dating someone else, and that's a little frustrating to deal with, kind of causing some anger maybe. When we're coming at our decisions and we're deciding, all right, I'm going to do this, or this is the feeling I'm going to have in regards to them, being with someone else, or the fact that they didn't respond back to my text message. When you sit back and think about, how am I feeling right now? This decision I'm making to send a text message to someone because I'm mad at them, because they didn't respond back, or they maybe replied to my Facebook post in a weird way that kind of got me frustrated, right? Got me all fired up. If that feeling within you when you're doing this is not one of joy, contentment, happy, like if it's not in that, if it's frustration, if it's anger, if it's resentment, if it's hurt, if it's animosity, not good directions. These are not necessarily the path you would like to go. Now, I know in a lot of cases, people may be doing some of the Facebook thing, right? You'll look at someone's Facebook page or their Instagram or whatever, Snapchat, whatever crazy application that you're into with the social media stuff, and you'll see things and it'll get you frustrated. Again, is that working for you? How do you feel when you look at it? Frustrated? No, that's not good. Don't do it. Stop doing it. I don't care how much it's driving you. It's like, I've got to know. But when you go and find out, if it just turns around and makes you frustrated, and that's what I gotta know, and that's what you find out, is that what you want? Is that really how you want to feel right now? Because those sorts of energies are definitely not going to help bring about a favorable circumstance. Again, as I've said before, when we are thinking of a specific person, anybody, but any specific person, we instantly create a thought bridge with them. Instantly, like that quickly. Right? And then every feeling and emotion you have, every thought you have is essentially sent down that thought bridge to that person. If those feelings are anything other than good, that's how they're going to receive you. So an example, you're frustrated, you're grumpy with them, and you like think of so-and-so, and then you've kind of got that anger, right? So boom, you create a thought bridge to your specific person, and you're angry now. You're frustrated because they did something on Facebook. Again, you're thinking of them, so that thought bridge is instantly created. Doesn't matter what you're thinking, doesn't matter what you're saying, doesn't matter what you're doing. They're in your mind, they're in your thoughts. They are receiving this energy. And if they are even remotely sensitive to your presence, or if you're someone that, pops up in their mind every once in a while, and you've created this negative thought bridge, how that kind of plays out in their minds is they might be like, at home typing, and then they're like, oh, so-and-so. Yeah. That fight we had, not so good, right? Like they will have negative thoughts about you. They will remember the bad times. They might remember how you got grumpy. They don't necessarily know that you're angry with them right now. But these are kinds of the thoughts that pop into their head. This is the effect you're going to have on them. So if you're trying to make a difference, if you're trying to bring them back into your life, that's not helpful, right? So if someone wants to bring you back into their world, but they're always frustrated with you, that's not going to work. You're not going to do that. You're not going to tolerate that. You deserve better, right? So again, how are we feeling about things? Now I get if you're hurt because it's a breakup, that's different. That's hurt. If you're angry, that's different. When you're angry, it's you choosing to feel a certain way. They're maybe doing some behavior, X, Y, or Z, and it's causing you to look at it. You're passing a judgment. I don't like what so-and-so's doing. That infuriates me. And now that's the anger, and that's the energy you're sending their way. In these cases, we need to try to find a way to kind of chill out on that anger. You got to forgive, you got to forget, you got to whatever you got to do. Because if you're going to try to get back in a relationship with someone that you're frustrated with, you can't. You can. It's just very, very hard. It's going to take way longer. It's very unlikely that it'll actually work. I'll say that much. Most people do not want to be with someone that's frustrated with them. And when you have those levels of frustration, a lot of times the smallest things will set you off, right? Then you become high maintenance. Then you become difficult to deal with. And it almost becomes an untenable situation. You can't win. And a lot of people don't want anything to do with that. Again, the other side of this, when things are going good and you finally let go, and you've got that clarity of mind, that peace of heart, and you just love your specific person regardless of where the situation's at and regardless of where it goes. You just love them. It becomes vastly easier to make things happen in your life. Again, the reason being, when I think of my specific person, wonderful thoughts come to mind. Joy comes to mind. The idea of spending an eternity with the most amazing person I've ever met in my life comes to mind. So I instantly create that thought bridge, and I'm sending love, and I'm feeling love, and that's what they're receiving. So now they're sitting there typing at home, and they're like, so-and-so. He's a great guy. Really, really like Dan. He's a really good guy. Really like him. I hope we can, get to that point where we can finally start spending more time together. You know what I mean? Like, they start having favorable thoughts about you because you feel good. The idea of you feels good. Again, she doesn't necessarily know I'm thinking about her right now. Doesn't really know. But all of a sudden in her mind, I might pop in there in a favorable way, in a positive, happy way. So how are you feeling right now about your situation? If you're grumpy, self-love, affirmations, trying to let go, even if it's through frustration and throwing up your hands and saying, screw it, just so you can experience that moment of clarity that comes, that level of peace that comes when you finally let go of the outcome and you're able to look at things from a little more of from an objective standpoint. When you can stand back and almost remove yourself from the situation for just a moment, you can look at it with a little more clarity, and you can make a much, much larger difference in your life and in the manifestation. One thing you've got to remember, guys, we're doing something different. Most people, that's why they call it the secret, right? Most people aren't doing this. So essentially, you're a trailblazer. You're a leader. Most of the people that I generally teach, and I use that in finger quotes, and I use it very loosely, are teachers of teachers. You guys are all demonstrating this so other people will notice, will see it. not hear you talk about it. We'll see the results. We'll see how you're generally happier, how you're generally more upbeat, how you've got a generally better outlook on life. And things tend to work well for you. Things tend to work out. And then people will ask you about that. Guy, you just seem to have the best luck. You just seem to always be in a good mood. You seem to really be good to people. We're trailblazers. We're showing the way. Some people may be in a hurry. Kind of got to bring that down a little bit. Being in a hurry is not going to help you either, right? How are you feeling about it? When you're in a hurry and you're in a rush, it's not happening quick enough. Again, that feeling's not good. It's agitated. It's nervous. It's not happening quick enough. I need it to. It's that uncomfortable kind of, right? If it doesn't feel good, it's probably not the best approach for you and what you're trying to manifest. If it feels good, it's definitely probably heading down the correct path. So again, trailblazers, be careful who you ask advice from, okay? Because a lot of times you can ask someone's advice and they can tell you you're straight crazy for believing any of this stuff. Just had a conversation with a lady today. She adores me at the coffee shop, loves what I do, just thinks I give great service. And then she's like, oh, you do YouTube? What do you kind of do it about? And I was being very generic about describing it. And you can already tell she was getting that weird factor, like kicking in. She's like, oh, oh, that's kind of, And I was just like, yeah, it's not for everyone, right? Again, it's not for everyone. So it was so funny, the looks on her face. It was so adorable. So again, people will look at you funny, and then on top of that, you'll start to question your own sanity. Am I the crazy one? Really? Like, am I pursuing something that's absolutely asinine, and I really need someone to check me or put me in check? Again, all these things will come into play. How do you feel about it? If you're feeling like maybe you're insane, and I've been there numerous times I've had to step back and just go, all right, hang on a second here. Am I just being crazy? Or is there really something here? So again, when we can step back, we can pull ourselves back because things are frustrating, because things don't feel quite right. Step back for a minute. Doesn't mean you're giving up. Doesn't mean you're letting go. Doesn't mean anything. Just means for a second, I'm going to stand back and try to look at this objectively. Yes, this is a person I really, really care about. Yes, this is a person I really believe I want to be with. Is this situation going to happen? Can it happen? Do we believe it? Because if you don't believe in what you're trying to do, that makes it borderline impossible too. Again, reassess, relook at things, try to just get yourself back in line with what you're trying to accomplish. If you can get behind what your beliefs are, what could happen, what's going to happen, those kinds of beliefs. If you can get in line and get behind your current beliefs, you will find that you feel better in general way more often. You will feel better about what you're trying to manifest. It will make an enormous difference in your life. I hope this helps. Hope this makes a difference for you. It certainly has for me. This has definitely been something that, in all walks of my life, I use these sorts of ways to tell where I'm at with things, right? No matter what it is, work, relationships, even this thing with my mom, like all this stuff, like really got to step back sometimes and just go, all right, let's look at this objectively. Let's see if we can figure out where things are going. Going out with a great song by a band called Roxette.